Here, job 25847, Issaquah Gardens Apartments. And this is going to be concrete in Sitka. Be no optional pricing, no traffic control, no permits, ingress, egress. I'll talk about that as soon as I show you the aerial here. Working hours Monday through Friday during normal business hours. Staging, we'll stage on site. And I also want you to note 23193. So the scope on 23193 is going to become C3. And so in the past, we bid this concrete right here. I want to do C1, which is right here, and I'll show you all this, and C2. And I put the color in. Mark got a hold of Cadman or looked up an old invoice and found the colors. So this will be colored concrete. And I'll show you what we've done in the past. And there's a parking lot here. And we can park in this alley. It's a very quiet area in Issaquah. The guys may be able to park on the street and pour this the day we do it, but I don't want to add, $1,900 plus for a street use permit. This is a quiet street. There is parking on both sides of the street. There's parking here. C2 is going to be this lifted up section right here. So there and there. But, I just don't want to add that to the bid because I know that'll hinder our chances of perhaps doing this work out here. So I'll show you the parking lot and I'll show you the alley here in a little bit. Before I forget, there's not a lot to it. So I'm going to give you the other dimensions. C1 is going to be 9 by 4. And these are all 3 inches out here. And C2 is 11 by 4. And then C3, like I mentioned, just use the old dimensions. And for the Sitka, 36 feet. 16 feet of backer rod, capital tan. And that's also going to be in Workman's for you. So C2, be nice if we can do it right off the street. And pour it right out of the chute. We'll just go right to that expansion joint. Now, the Sitka is to cover these damaged areas. And this is an old piece of plastic that they've covered in the past. And you can see it's coming up. So just take and lightly tap with a hammer anything that's right on the expansion joint. And I told the customer that they would have to try and paint it themselves to try and get it as close to the as is. But, the color that I've selected is as close. So just tap some of that stuff off, clean it out, blow it off with like a backpack blower. And there's 9 spots where it's bad. For instance, I'm not bidding to do this because it hasn't really broken off. Okay, so C1 is this lifted up section here. So we're going to go from this expansion joint, take out this piece of plastic, and do felt like when we poured that. So we're going to pour that exact same color. So now access to C1. If we can park on the street, 45 feet, one direction. If we can't park on the street, it's almost equidistant to go that way, past the office, or to go this way. This is a quiet enough area of Issaquah that we can just park right here, park right here. They have parking there. We got an alley. I've never even seen a car drive on this alley. I've been here like 5 or 6 times over the years. Out by the street, there's a section where the concrete, it just needs to be filled with backer rod between the concrete and the sidewalk, the colored concrete and the sidewalk. And if we do this work, I'll just put little paint spots down on the areas where I want the the Sitka. That's where we did the pour and the asphalt work a couple years ago. In that entire area, we don't have to walk. There's no Sitka repair there. And I'll show you. I should have showed you, and I'm sorry for that, on the map, kind of where the Sitka is. This is a section of concrete that I'm going to remove and replace. You know, they got this coating on here, and so we're just going to cut this, cut that, cut that, cut that, and replace this entire area here, so that we can work right out of this parking lot. Another section of orange that we did, and a light broom finish. Came out nice. I want you to note that what I'm talking about, I'll point it out on the map. I'm not going to walk over there, but when they've been edging this property, they've been edging sometimes right this gap. So there's a couple of spots where that gap is now very wide. And that's where we need the backer rod, but there's only 2 places where we need backer rod. So C2 is going to be there. The 2 sections of sidewalk that need backer rod are there and there. So this property has this set of buildings. This is not part of Issaquah Highlands, or Issaquah Gardens, but this is, and then that's the back parking lot where C3 will be. And then C1 is in this little courtyard. Okay, that's it. Call me with any questions. Thank you.